This is an internal call.
Now, before I get into today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a few announcements of sorts to make that will be going forward with my channel into 2025. Don't worry, folks. It's all goody two-shoes news. But before I do get on with today's video, I want to point out a couple of things very quickly. Some people have asked me to cite that I have sources within the games industry to make that breaking news video. Well, first of all, I can't pretend that I do have sources, because if I were to go down that rabbit hole of absolute insanity, how would that look in terms of me being exposed as a fraud? I would be leaning into the same way that mainstream media leans into things when they shill for a product that nobody believes in. So no, I can't do that, but I will say this. I have worked in government for 20 years. I'm not with that anymore, but I've got a good knowledge of redacting information, being very discreet. I know that seems like an impossibility, right? When you look at me, how I am right now. Now, if there are any gaming developers out there who happen to watch this video and, like ABBA, might want to take a chance on me and spill me some information, yes, I'm very good at verifying actual sources too, including Heinz and everything else, then give me a shout out, DM me, no problem at all. On the second news, folks, my personal health and well-being. Well, I went to get some physio yesterday, and I was met by a rather lovely young lady who was just absolutely a killer with the exercises she gave to me. I mean, it almost felt like it was a burning passion of love between the two of us. She was a good-looking bird, actually, and she was just so lovely and great. She actually asked me what I currently do for a living, and I told her I'm a content creator and left it at that. But in today's video, folks, Amazon have acquired the rights to Warhammer 40K Games Workshop and their entire library. Does that mean that Space Marine 2 or 3 that should be when we get that announcement from Saber Interactive, maybe by the end of next year? Will that be infected with gay, lesbian, ideological nonsense?
To be clear, it was not a request.
I am not sure what else needs to be said.
Her voice may be almost as important to gamers as Lara's double pistols, curves and skimpy shorts.
Kung Fu Hot Dog
is a Kung Fu renegade cop. Now he must defeat the most evil Kung Fu master in the world.
For a modern gaming audience.
For a new world of unspeakable adventures.
I said, Mummy, I like the way the lady runs.
Get ready for a new world of unspeakable adventures, never before shown in a motion picture. Get ready for
Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Groovy.
Now, to make this actually official, folks, at the Investor Games Workshop website, the agreement with Amazon for films and television series. So while my introduction and my thumbnail was rather clickbaity, I had to say that because I had some concerns regarding what this agreement actually means. Now, further to its announcement on the 18th of December 2023, Games Workshop are pleased to announce that it's now agreed creative guidelines and reached a final agreement with Amazon Content Services LLC, a subsidiary of Amazon.com.inc, Amazon in inverted commas, for the adaptation of Games Workshop's Warhammer 40K universe into films and TV shows, together with associated merchandising rights, which means the figurines that you buy, and it is solely limited to television and film. So I think right now, like Ace Ventura,
Whew. Now I feel better.
you can breathe a sigh of relief, I suppose. Under the terms of agreement, Games Workshop has granted exclusive rights to Amazon in relation to films and television shows set within the Warhammer 40K universe, together with an option for Amazon to license equivalent rights in the Warhammer Fantasy following the release of any initial Warhammer 40K production. Production processes in respect of films and television shows may take a number of years. The company makes no change to its forecast for the 52-week period ending 1st of June 2025. So what's very interesting about this, folks, if you saw the secret level animated TV show last week on Amazon, by far the best episode was the Warhammer one. That was absolutely killer. Oh my god, I mean, it was a jaw-dropping 16 minutes of absolute brutality and mayhem. Directed, I believe, by Tim Miller, the same guy who gave us the first and best Deadpool movie in 2016 with Ryan Reynolds and Morena Baccarin. But enough about that, because Tim Miller's career, I thought, had gone off the sideline when he agreed to direct Terminator Darkish Fate, where they killed off John Connor in the first 10 minutes of the movie and replaced him with some tapioca, tequila swigging, burrito loving Mexicana chick. But enough about that, folks. So yeah, if you haven't caught that secret level episode yet of Warhammer 40K, absolutely do watch it. It's fantastic. I like it. I do. I wish he'd actually made a video of this announcement rather than a still picture. But I guess Henry's been burned before. Remember when we thought he was coming back to reprise his role as Kal-El / Clark Kent for Warner Brothers, or James Gunn as Superman? And it didn't happen because you know why? Danny Garcia, the ex-wife of Dwayne "The Cock" Johnson, made this man, Henry Cavill, false promises that he was going to get back in there, and then she burnt him to the ground. Which I'm not surprised he's cut ties with her. I believe he's no longer represented by her, and I've long said that the guy's getting dog shit projects because of the dog shit manager that he has or had.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that?
What the hell is that? Indeed! Well, if you didn't see the animated The Thieves Warhammer 40K show this year, you probably want to steer clear of that, because quite honestly, it's like looking at Marlon Brando from Apocalypse Now. And what an insult it is to that great actor. But honestly, I do like this black and white picture right here of old Hezekiah enjoying his little walkout from the little shop of not so horrific horrors in his hometown of Jersey. Not to be confused with New Jersey, USA and The Sopranos. So I really like this. Henry's full of optimism, bravado. He's a father now, which is really awesome. And it seems that he and Amazon and his girlfriend / fiance, who is a worker at Amazon or a producer on the show as well, everybody's amicable about this. Going forward, it should be a doozy boozy breeze. But we know, folks, that productions are long, they are troubled. Obviously, with something as mammoth as Warhammer 40K, I predict things might not run smoothly after the first couple of years. It depends. If this show has a feel like Jack Reacher and maybe the Terminal List, it could do really well. But then again, folks, we're talking about Amazon here, so don't hold your breath. You can hold your breasts, ladies. That'll be nice. Now listen, it's not within the realms of possibility. You could have the Sisters of Silence or even the Sisters of Battle, the military faction of the Adeptus Sororitas Bonitas looking beautiful in a grim dark fantasy. It could happen. When I was growing up as a kid, I would sometimes get my grotty, dirty little hands on those big graphic novels in my school library, flip the pages over to look for a scantily clad, beautifully computer-generated rendered version of a lovely buxom beauty with a gun in her hand, and also looking at her other set of guns as well, on her holsters on her hips. Or did you think I was talking about, you naughty torty warties? But honestly, I'm gonna sit back with bated breath and see how this all pans out, because again, my boy Henry has been hurt in the ghoulies before, and I don't want to see this happen to him again. But honestly, I am looking forward to hearing the announcement from those boys at Saber Interactive, Matthew Karch and Tim Willits, about Space Marine 3, which will probably happen right after the 80s field action toxic commando game, which is headlined by the mystical, magical, brutal mind of John Carpenter, the man who gave you Assault on Precinct 13 and Big Trouble in Little China. So I, for one, cannot wait. I'm a big supporter of those boys over at Saber Interactive, and I hope they don't let me down. And for now, at least, we can be rest assured that this Amazon deal with Games Workshop won't, for now, affect the video game versions of those absolute bad boys and occasional bad girls. And speaking of which, folks, I want to thank each and every single one of you who have helped my channel grow to over 14,000 subscribers this year alone. I've done it all on my lonesome, obviously all with your help as well in supporting me, and there are bigger and better things hopefully going forward in 2025. And I'll owe everything to my lovely lady right here, Eve from Stellar Blade, but I've got to say, I've got to admit, she's facing very stiff competition. And if you know what I mean by that, then you're a dirty, worty Bertie.
Mr. Bertram Worcester. What-ho? Tinkety-tonk.
From Fiona from Vindictus Defying Fate, coming out next year. And I think people, including me, well, I've been doing it already on this channel, simping so hard for her. And on that one, if I were you and if you were me, you should perhaps return for the next video. Warhammer Space Marines 2, will it be a fair?